How's it going, everybody? Vegeta saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you Dragon Ball, anime, and manga content. If you enjoy the video and you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. That being said, today we're going to review Chapter 69. I'm going to do it kind of differently. I'm trying to make this a bit on the shorter side since I did the leaks yesterday. So we're going to kind of look at this in two parts, because there's two real major things that happen in this arc. We're going to look at this from the Vegeta Beerus side, and we're going to look at it from the... Oop, didn't mean to do that. We're going to look at it from the Vegeta Beerus side, and we're going to look at it from the Granola side. We're going to start with the Vegeta Beerus side, mainly because I think that is the side that I enjoyed a little bit more and doesn't require as much critiquing, per se, just pointing out things that I enjoyed. So I have to say, I really, really like this training session with Beerus. A lot of people were saying they weren't sure how it was going to play out or anything like that, but we finally do get the reveal that Beerus was the one who approved the destruction of the Saiyans, to Vegeta at least. We all knew this, but Vegeta never knew this, so this was a cool moment to finally get revealed. We see him kind of get annoyed by it, but the other thing that really made me happy about this is I've been saying for a while is I've wanted, just since Battle of the Gods, really, and especially since people have said they think that Beerus, is now weaker than Master Ultra Instinct Goku. I just kind of wanted to see him in action a little bit. We saw the fight in the manga between the Gods of Destruction, but it doesn't really scale them compared to the other fighters. I guess it should scale them because we know that Jiren is technically stronger than the other Gods of Destruction. I mean, I don't know. I'm not quite sure where to scale Beerus just yet, and that's where my major problem is. So to see him actually fight and it just so freely, willy-nilly, just blow up a planet, just spin around and be like, pow, gaboom, it was pretty cool. So that was pretty important to me. But on top of that, I think what else is really important is kind of the way he's taunting Vegeta is important for Vegeta to kind of move forward and accept everything that's happened. He gets it to a point where he's basically telling Vegeta, the past is the past. You need to move forward. If you're not going to move forward, you're never going to grow as a fighter. And part of the reason you keep losing in so many of your fights is you're fixated on the past. Let me pull up the exact quote of what it was because I really liked it. He says to Vegeta, as long as you're trapped by the past, you will never go past this point. And I think that that's really powerful. It's basically somebody telling Vegeta finally, look, it happened. It all happened, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. It's done. It's gone. It's over. You need to start focusing on moving forward and doing something else. And he even says point blank, my mind is always on destruction, which I think is really, really powerful because, I mean, a lot of the time we just see Beerus sitting there being lazy, eating, doing his thing. We never really realize that he's always kind of constantly thinking about, okay, I can have to destroy something at pretty much any second now. And so I think that that's a pretty powerful realization for the audience about Beerus and for Vegeta about himself. So kudos to Toriyama and Toyotaro for this sequence. I think this whole sequence was very well done. Really powerful for both Beerus and Vegeta's character. And we even get a little insight into Goku saying that he had trouble mastering the Hakai. That was why he failed to use it against Goku Black. And I think that that's also pretty powerful too, because it goes back into the pure-hearted Saiyan argument and why he's going the angel path, whereas Vegeta is going the God of Destruction path. So I think that's pretty important. And again, I really enjoyed the sequence. Now let's move on to Granola. Alright, so let's talk about Granola for a second. And apparently I have way too much to say about this because I've tried recording this 3 times now, all of which have come out to about 20 minutes apiece. And that's just a little too long to be talking about just the Granola section of this arc, or of this chapter. But let's go into it. I'm going to try it. I'm trying my best to cliff note this. Alright, Granola shows up at home, very Star Wars-like, love the bubble cities. We find out he doesn't want to live with the Shugarians because, it reminds him of home. We see that he can see his hometown from his house, and it's supposed to be his kind of reminder that he doesn't belong, but of what he lost. We see a little overlay, I guess, like a little watermarked image of like a great ape rampaging through his town, almost like he's reliving the memory every time he sees the town, which is really, really neat. And it didn't look like it was Bardock, because we did see in the preview that there was that great ape with the scar like Bardock, so everybody's pretty sure it's Bardock. I'm pretty sure it's Bardock. That being said, moving forward, things start getting a little coincidental and a little dicey from there. We cut to the Heaters for a second, and we find out that the Heaters, are just going through OG-73's memory banks. They find out about the Dragon Balls, and that leads us back up to Granola as well as Planet Namek. The reason it leads us up to Planet Namek is because Planet Namek, they're telling us, okay, there are Namekians in other planets throughout the universe, and that makes sense. The only thing that bothers me about it is they said that apparently Namekians aren't from Universe 7, which is so weird and so stupid. I don't understand why they said that. Because in reality, all they had to say was there were Namekians on other planets. That's it. Because it makes sense. They didn't need to say anything else besides that. Because if you look at Z, at Dragon Ball, they were just there. Kami, Piccolo, they were just there. They were on Earth. There's no like random alien explanation for them or anything like that. Like it's fine. It would totally make sense for Namekians just to be on other planets. It's something that I think many fans have wondered for a long time. So I think that this was just like a very silly way to retcon it. Then, or not retcon, because it's not a retcon, but still. Then we get even more coincidental, because not only is there Namekians on planet Serial, fine, not that weird of a coincidence, but the sole Namekian left lives with Granola. The singular Namekian who's left lives with Granola. I guess you could kind of say, because they're the only two survivors of the original planet Serial, that it makes sense that they're living together. But in reality, this just seems a little forced. It just seems like, okay, yeah, we needed to find a way to get a Namekian in here. We needed to find a way to get Dragon Balls on this planet, or to get Dragon Balls involved without him, directly confronting Vegeta and Goku and all them, so we can let their side develop over there. Fine. Does all that. Coincidentally, a member of the Dragon Clan coincidentally made 2 Dragon Balls. Fine. And I really like these Dragon Balls because they're small, they're tiny. So it makes sense that there's only 2 of them, because if they scatter across the planet, it's very hard to find them. Minato only has 1 of these Dragon Balls. Minato's the Namekian. I don't know if I said that. He has 1 of the Dragon Balls, and the other one's been missing for 50 years. Okay, fine. Totally makes sense. Totally fair. But things kind of derail after that, because the coincidence of all coincidences, the day Granola shows up at home, one of these random fishermen finds the 2-star Dragon Ball, and all of a sudden, it's found. It's done. And I think the thing that bothers me about this is it's like DBZ Broly, where it's not necessarily the worst or bad writing. It's just like, if you tweaked it just a little bit, it would make a lot more sense and be really, really good. Hence, DBS Broly. DBS Broly just took DBZ Broly, made some minor tweaks, and made him a really good character. So, I don't know. I just, I think it's kind of weird to see them do this like this. Like, the fact that he didn't go hunting for the Dragon Balls at all is just so bizarre, that it just randomly, coincidentally turned up. It's so unlikely, and it feels forced. Had you even, I don't even think we needed a chapter of him hunting for the Dragon Balls. Had you given me a page or 2, of him hunting for the Dragon Balls, and then a panel that said 3 months later, and it's him giving up all hope, and he's like, oh yeah, I worked my ass off, I can't find him, the planet's too big, I'm never gonna do this, Minato's gonna die, and I'm just not gonna be able to make my wish. I think him accepting that it was never going to happen, he was never going to find it, and then by some coincidence, some random fisherman found it, and he gets up in his little thief getup that he had, which I loved. It was a great design, and then he breaks in and steals it. It just would have played out a little bit better, Make it feel like there's a passage of time, like there's a journey, there's a reason for him going so nuts for this. Right now, it's just a thing of vengeance, which Minato even tells him, you shouldn't be trying to get vengeance on Frieza. It's just a bad idea. There are more powerful enemies to come. If you try that, just don't do it. And I don't know. I just I think it's kind of weird that they went down this strange path of just coincidentally finding the Dragon Balls, rushing the story along. It just feels like, because of how hyped the fight with Moro was, they're just trying to push through all the story details to get to a fight as quickly as possible. When it's we have the fights like Beerus versus Vegeta that are actually really satisfying in the meantime, to kind of hold us over until the epic climax that we're going to get later on. So yeah, I think that's kind of my conclusion for the chapter, is that it did some things well, and it had potential to be really, really good, but it just kind of fell short. And I think that's what's the most disappointing part about it, is that from the leaks alone, we saw from the new dragon, from the reveals that we were going to get, from the fight between Beerus and Vegeta, this chapter had the potential to really hit the ball out of the park, and it just kind of bunted at the end of the day. So yeah, I think overall, I don't think I disliked it, but I think there were a lot of things they could have done that would have made me enjoy it a bit more. So yeah, that's that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.